should be like you, Melvin.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Cherries fans from around the world. Welcome back to another edition of Cherry AM on this. I think it's just going to continue to get gloomier and gloomier for us here in the UK, actually. Malcolm, welcome back this morning. How are you?
Yeah, morning, Ollie. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Yeah, it's blue skies, but cold, very cold. Only 3 degrees here this morning. So frosty roofs and everything.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah. Winter is on its way.
Yeah, it certainly is.
After a fantastic weekend of football, obviously everyone is more than aware that tonight will be the Cherry Slap show. So that is going to be the big rundown of what was the most important game of the weekend, obviously. But this morning we won't be discussing that, so do just be aware. All things Bournemouth and Crystal Palace will be coming tonight on the Cherry Slap show. So please do get involved in that. But for now, we do want to give a big overview on everything that happened at the weekend because quite some movements, quite some things, quite some drama. It was the weekend of football, Mal.
It certainly was. Can we first go in and say a big shout out to UTCIAD? Unfortunately, didn't win the Under-20s World Cup. They lost 2-0 to Morocco. But a wonderful achievement for a young lad. Also, a shout out to the ladies who, in the FA National League Cup, won 1-0 against Queen's Park Rangers. A penalty, Kenny Thompson, and that was enough to see them through. So good luck to them in the next round, the last 16. See how they get on.
Yeah, fantastic. Appreciate that update.
Okay, mate. Few good mornings in the chat.
Absolutely, yes. The first one, I'm actually not going to read out because you're absolutely right. We should have had a good morning. You know who you are. Chris Hubble. Morning, everyone. Morning, Chris. How are you this morning?
Morning, Chris.
Paul Sands. Good morning, everyone. He also says good morning, Chris.
Yeah. Morning, Paul.
Chris Hubble, morning, Paul. David DaCosta, morning, everyone. 18 degrees and rain. When are they going to stop WWF when defending a corner and you give away a needles penalty?
Needless
penalty. Yeah. Liam Humby is early. You can tell Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. Up the Cherries.
Morning, Liam.
Morning, Liam. Chris Hubble says morning, Ollie and Mel. Morning, Chris. Paul says, I watched the United and Liverpool game. I thought Kirkhead looked absolute rubbish.
Oh, I think we'll get on to all these shortly.
We will indeed. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Liverpool United game might be last on our list, or at least towards the bottom.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Do you want to start off with Forest Chelsea?
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Forest, to be honest with you, they didn't play badly. First half, they were all right.
Yep.
But the two quick-fire goals in the second half was quite disappointing for them, obviously. But considering all the talk around Ange pre-match, the fans still got behind the team. But obviously, a 3-0 home defeat. And when the boss decides to vacate his seat, there was only going to be one outcome, wasn't there? Unfortunately, which I find it really strange. He hasn't had that much time, 39 days, I believe. The results haven't gone his way, and it is a totally different style of football that Ange plays to what Nuno played. Also, considering, Andoni went 9 games without a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
But still had the backing. So it just shows, it's how the clubs are run, really, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think that highlights what's the best words for it? The impatience and kind of volatility in modern football, because that's the shortest permanent reign in Premier League history.
Yeah.
And Ange doing his time in Nottingham Forest. I think that's crazy. 39 days is a very, very short period of time. Very short.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. I just having a look through to see. Obviously, there is one more game to be played tonight. West Ham Brentford, which should also be quite interesting. But we'll see how it all goes. So if you want to have a look at the other fixtures, Sunderland 2-0 against Wolves. Wow. Their strength is at home, obviously.
Yeah, could have been two or three more as well.
Apparently so. Yeah, I mean, I did follow one of the channels at the weekend, Wolves channel, and they were very, very disappointed. That they were performance-wise certainly not there. And to think, how much money the fans have to pay to travel so far, and turn out a performance that didn't really exist. Disappointing, and rightly so. They're in trouble at the bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Can they get out of it? I know it's early doors, 8 games gone, but you need to be looking at where the points going to be coming from. I'm not sure with Wolves at all.
I mean, it hasn't started off great, has it? They hadn't come out of the gates at any point this season so far looking like they were going to be pushing out of the relegation. So I think they were always going to have a relegation battle on their hands. It's sad to see, but they don't look like they're going to be changing their output anytime soon.
No. I don't know what's going to happen there, to be honest with you. Whether the club's going to be sold, new people coming in, whatever. We just have to watch this space and see. But yeah, very, very disappointing for them, especially, with Vitor in there. After last season, what he did, we expected them to be a little bit higher up than they are at the moment, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So Man City go marching on.
They do, and it seems Erling Haaland just continues to score, right? Just doesn't stop. What are we on now? 23 goals, something ridiculous.
Crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah.
Unseen, really, if you think about it. In regards to those stats, consistency in the last 3 seasons, my God. There hasn't been
he did have a bit of a drop-off in form, but, he's found it again, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he went maybe 5 or 6 games without scoring and then came back to 3 braces and a hat-trick.
Yeah, and then for the national team as well, knocking them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just absolutely phenomenal, really. Possible goals record this season for him?
Yeah, possible. There's a comment in the chat. Sean, I have purposely not answered your question for a reason, mate. So I know you're asking for someone to answer your question, but we've ignored it on purpose. And we're going to come back to that tonight on the Bournemouth show. So let's leave that to the Terry Slap show and then come back on later and ask the question there, mate. Go on, please continue, Mel.
Yeah, you're all right. Oh, there was another game at Selhurst Park. I think we'll gloss over that. Um, Burnley Leeds. Wow. What do you reckon?
Well, I didn't see the game. It was the one game I didn't watch.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, what was the final score?
2-0
Two.
to Burnley.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I could see it going that way in the lineups beforehand. So I caught the lineups before the game.
Yeah.
These don't look like they were coming out too strong initially, but obviously without seeing the game, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay. It's not as though they didn't play well. They did play well. It was just one of those games where nothing would happen for them. I haven't actually got the stats in front of me, but it's let's just say an unlucky defeat, really.
Mm.
Scott Parker's lot sort of got out of jail free, really, on that occasion. But what's really interesting, Leeds at home they can fire, but struggle. And I did actually point this out maybe a couple of weeks back. That they will get more points at home than they will on their travel. So it's difficult because Burnley, Sunderland, Leeds, the three that came up. I mean, Sunderland are flying, to be honest with you. Burnley just above the relegation, so for them it was a must-win game.
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends now, what the others around them are going to be up to. But nevertheless, yeah, 3 points is very, very welcome for them.
Yeah,
See that.
just looking at the table now, it's a crazy table. It's a
Yeah,
really crazy table at the moment.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't really predict very much, can you? The way things are playing out at the moment.
No.
I mean, this is why I suppose we like football. We like to see it being competitive.
Yeah, and the turbulence, right? The up and down of
The ups and downs, exactly that. Yeah,
yeah,
we're all experts pre-season, aren't we? We know who's going to win the league. We know who's going to be in the top six. We know who's going to get relegated. And then football throws this at you. I think it's great. I really do. It's for fans. It must be quite nerve-wracking, to be honest with you.
yeah,
It really is.
yeah. And we got here as well. Burnley 4
Yeah,
shots,
thanks for that, Sean. Yeah.
3 on target. Leeds 19 shots, 4 on target.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Paul Sant says Leeds will definitely go down. I've tipped them to go down before the start of the season.
Did you have money on them?
Be a good bet if you did.
Yeah.
Leeds starting to slip down the table. Yeah. And Darren says 13 degrees, raining cats and dogs. Thanks, Darren.
Morning, Darren. Or good afternoon, evening. Sorry, it's +7. Oh, it's afternoon. Yeah. Hope you're well, mate. Brighton, Newcastle.
Oh,
2-1.
Yeah. Another good game that was.
I didn't see it.
I've got to give shout out to Danny Welbeck, 34 years old, slotting in 2 goals. Both goals were decent as well. What's interesting, one of the only players in English football who scored more goals in his 30s than he ever did in his 20s.
Wow. That's a nice stat, isn't it?
Yeah. Very similar. I think one of the only other people is Jamie Vardy, scored more goals in his 30s than he has in his 20s.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danny Welbeck. Wow. What a power horse. Watching him. He just looked awesome. He really did. He just looked so good to watch.
It's strange, Brighton, isn't it? They had a dip of form, but they can go again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think more importantly, is this a concern for Eddie now?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, with European football as well. Good point. Good point.
I don't think it's looking too positive for him at the moment, and I think he's going to be up against it.
You got the table up there?
I do indeed.
Yeah. What position are Newcastle now?
Newcastle 13th.
Yeah, that's not clever, is it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you'd certainly expect them to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Wow. Tough times. But then you can say that about the whole league. Like I said, it's just so unpredictable at the moment.
Yeah, you can. I mean, let's be honest, no one really expected it to have jumped the way it has in the last couple of days. I mean, United were 17th not 3 weeks ago, and they're now
That's right. Yeah.
You know, Tottenham were close to third. They're now pushing back into sixth. The Arsenal were top when Liverpool were. Like, it is an ever-moving top 10 of the table at the moment. And again,
It certainly is.
The last time I saw this happen was when Leicester won the league.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so who knows what could happen?
Yeah. Yeah, interesting point that Paul's just brought up in the chat while we're at it.
Could things fall into place regarding Andoni and Eddie?
I don't think so. I think Newcastle are going to stick with Eddie. Certainly, I wouldn't even bring up any sort of speculation, considering what he's already done for the club. It happens. And you can't just chop and change everything to try and bring success. It doesn't work.
No,
it really doesn't work. You know, and then there's obviously the other extremes where loads of money is being thrown into clubs with new players and everything that can't perform, as we've already seen. Yeah, it's all about getting down to the basics and doing the job on the field.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Get the mentality right and everything. Yeah. So next game. Oh, go on. Yeah.
What Sean says, I still think this is going to be the season none of the promoted teams will go down. Interesting.
That could happen. It's a long way to go.
Have we ever been top of the league before? If not, another record broken. That was a historical record. Yeah, you're right. So when we went 1-0 up against Palace at the weekend and we were top, that is the first time in Premier League history that Bournemouth have been 8 games into the season and top of the league. So yes, you are correct there, Sean. Even if it was only for 70 minutes, absolutely, you're bang on. And then Darren, only when you have picked the newspaper upside down in the past, Sean. Bournemouth have been at the top. David DaCosta, every club goes to a sticky patch. Long season.
Exactly that. Yeah. 30 games to go still, so, you know.
Yeah. Malcolm, please move on to the next game before I read that joke out.
I'm going in for Fulham Arsenal. Really tough encounter. And have they got a new name? Arsenal?
God, I don't know. Go on.
They only score from corners, don't they? Proved it again. But 1-0. I mean, that's their bogey team, isn't it? They never do very well at Craven Cottage. So for them to get 3 points there, wow. Yeah.
So apparently they've got the best defensive stats so far in the whole of Europe. They are the
Arsenal
best defensively in the whole of Europe right now.
Wow.
I think that's really good. Yeah. Huge stats that is maybe sometimes undermentioned or misunderstood. Because you win games by not conceding.
Yeah, exactly.
It's as simple as that. You get points on the board, you don't concede a goal. And you'll continue to miss relegation spots if you do not concede goals, which means you will always stay in the top league. So you're doing something right if you're not conceding. Simple as that.
Yeah, they're a different sort of Arsenal this season. It seems like they've. I mean, it's way too. I'm not going to even think about end of season, but the way they've started, certainly there's more to them, and even with the injuries they've got already, wow, the mentality must be there, definitely.
Absolutely,
but going to be really interesting to see how they progress in the coming weeks. Definitely. Now, a game I watched yesterday, Tottenham Villa. Wow. Bearing in mind, I was still buzzing from the previous day. I couldn't try. I tried to get my head around, focusing on the Spurs Villa game, so it wasn't like 100% full on, but it was there. I was watching it, and it wasn't until like Villa got an equaliser I thought, "Hello, could it possibly happen?" Because Villa, credit to them, they didn't start brilliantly, start of the season, and now they're putting it together. They Thomas Frank with his Tottenham. I really thought, they're going to be the boys to beat, and Villa did it. So, take my hat off to them. Yeah, really, really good game to watch. Yeah.
I think I also watched it yesterday. Again, a result that goes massively favourably in our corner, right? Tottenham not getting points on the board yesterday. But yeah, I think Brendier and Rodgers both scoring, obviously, after both going 1-0 down at Spurs. And now technically won 5 in 6, I think is the stats, right, for Villa.
Yeah.
There is talk that are they becoming, the silent top 4 club this season? Are they sitting in the background gaining these points? I don't think so. I don't think they're anywhere near as effective or as clinical as they were 2 or 3 seasons ago. I think they're in a much better space, but they're a team to watch, right? They're a team to watch. They're clearly still pulling the wool over bigger teams' eyes. They're still quite clearly getting points on the board. So they can't be missed, right? They can't be ignored.
No. We've always said, there's no easy games in the Premier League, and it doesn't matter what club you are. So, yeah, I didn't see that result happening, to be honest with you. I thought that was going to be one too many for Villa, even though, they're one of the form teams. 4 finishing from Tottenham. Yeah,
absolutely.
Good goalkeeping from Martinez as well. Defensively, I mean, Villa aren't that bad.
No, and they're always a tough team to go and play against.
Yeah.
And that hasn't changed for a couple of seasons. Again, they've always, as you said, Martinez. They've always had good players. They've always had good fans. A strong stadium. Like they're not the easiest teams to go and play against. So
no. Really, really interesting. How the weekend's panned out. I suppose we've got to get on to Liverpool, Manchester, haven't we?
We do. Yeah. Before we get there, we've got a joke here. Lynn Payet, what's the difference between a Bournemouth defender and a well-cooked steak? The steak stays in the Premier League longer. Well, I think Kirkes is the only one so far that stayed in the Premier League. I'm hoping that any defenders to get picked up over the course of the next 2 seasons, Lynn, do stay in the Premier League because they only just got here. So fingers crossed on them. Sean says, everyone seems to be on about Arsenal, Liverpool, while City is just getting on with business. Yeah, well, it seems they do that every season. Pep is a force to be reckoned with, put it that way. So Man City are never ruled out. Man City are never, ever ruled out. But,
I mean, they could also have a blip at some point in the season.
Exactly.
Right? That is also very, very possible. But, yeah, the role that they're on.
Absolutely, yeah. I only watched 3 games this weekend, Bournemouth, and Bournemouth. Downhurst.
You surprised me, Darren.
And David DaCosta says Spurs need a striker. It's funny because they took ours, didn't they, once upon a time? That wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, well, he's still injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them. I don't think...
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
All I was going to say is, was it Charlison? Is he the perfect fit? I don't think he is, really.
No, he's not. Not at all.
I mean, to be honest with you, they got some decent players at Tottenham. I can't understand why it's. They'll have a hell of a game one week, and then the next week it's like a totally different setup. You know, that the players aren't performing or whatever. You know, they're going to be for me like a yo-yo team this season. They will, yeah. They'll put some results together, and then not basically. But this is what we love about Premier League. Early doors always says that, yeah, you get a win and you move up so many places in the table. You lose a game, you drop down so many, or draws, whatever. We won't start to see anything really until end of the year, will we? We'll have a better idea how clubs are performing. But yeah, let's get on to the Manchester Liverpool game.
Yes, because I think that upset quite a few people. And I'll be honest with you, what's really, really tickled me is Harry Maguire again.
Yeah, wow.
he gets so much stick, much stick for years. For the last 4 seasons, I remember everyone hating him or at least not rating him in a United shirt or in an England shirt. Neither did I. Neither did I. Still don't think I'd put him in my England team. However, I'm not a United fan, and if I was, Maguire would be in my squad.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem. He surprises me every time. Every time.
I mean, he has had some pretty dire performances, though, hasn't he?
Absolutely, of course he has. Yeah,
over the last months.
But then he seems to score in the most important games.
Yeah,
every time he seems to somehow get his head on that ball, or he'll put it in the back of the net somehow in the most important moments of a game.
I thought United looked pretty decent, to be honest with you. It's certainly not the United we saw back end of last season or even start of this season. Whether it's because the new players are finally starting to click. I don't know what your take is on it, but wow, what a start to the game. That was really unbelievable. Mbuemo, how he just got up off the floor and legged it.
Yeah.
And left everybody for dead. Superb ball through for him.
Yeah.
Really classic finish. You couldn't write a better script for United to start that game. And then it was up to Liverpool to try and do something, and they toiled and toiled, and I don't think really much happened until, to be honest with you, that the subs came on. They changed it up in the second half. When they actually did get back to 1-1, it was on the cards, and I thought, to be honest with you, that was going to be it. That Liverpool would go for a second goal, being at home, being Liverpool as they are. But wow. And then out of next to nothing, to be honest with you, because the first attempted cross was blocked, wasn't it? And then
that's right.
And then what a superb ball in. And I think Liverpool, I wouldn't say it switched off, but because the ball had got blocked the way it had, and the defense started moving out. But all the United players are up front, including Maguire, obviously.
Yeah.
They kept their eye on what was happening. But what a brilliant crossing. It's what attacking players, if you like, or strikers, even central defenders. Those are balls like they dream of. So come on, put it on a plate for me. I'll do the rest for you. Brilliant, really. Obviously, United fans are going to be ecstatic for the next 6 months. They'll ride on that win. How it will pan out for them, who knows? Because it's, like I say, the long season. They don't have European football, obviously. So, it's just a game a week. It was quite funny watching it when they always show on the screen, don't they, the next 3 games. And all you see is league games for United. No other competitions. But, wow, really, really upsetting the apple cart this weekend. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think for Liverpool, it's their fourth straight defeat in all competitions.
It is indeed, yeah.
So for their side of things, super alarming, and maybe starting to expose kind of maybe some deeper issues. I don't know what those deeper issues are. Maybe.
I mean, what's your take on it, Ollie? Having watched the game, I don't rate Isak at all in that Liverpool lineup.
I've said this a number of times. Yeah, don't. I think the controversy around that whole signing and that whole transfer period for him to come over, the disagreements that he had at Newcastle with Eddie, the pushbacks on the transfer amounts and the weekly wage. I just think all of it has created such a toxic environment for a player to begin playing at a club. And there's there's no surprise to me that he's not performing whatsoever. I also don't think Cherries was the right purchase at the right time for them. I also don't think Frimpong was the right purchase at the right time for them. I think there's a number of things that Liverpool have done here that aren't necessarily correct.
Yeah.
But is that where we see the rise and fall? You know, like they built it up for such a long time under Klopp. They finally got there.
Yeah.
And then Klopp handed over the reins to Arnie Slot, who thought he'd landed on gold. You know, and I don't know.
Well, I mean, you know, as champions, you expect them to push on. And this is going back to what I said earlier about throwing large amounts of money out for players that underperform. Also, Florian Wirtz as well. I mean, he's just not performing, is he?
No, he's not. And again, you'd think that the amount of money that's been spent on some of these players, there isn't really an opportunity to not perform. Unfortunately, like you've come over to the Premier League, to the Premier League champions from the previous season. You know, there's a huge level of expectancy.
Yeah,
and again, maybe I just see it a bit harsher, but it's the same at Bournemouth. You know, like we've really earned and worked hard to get to the position we're in. If we let a player come in and not perform, not work with the squad, not do what he's told in training, just not have that character or that attitude, he'd be out the door in a week.
Yeah.
And it's not like that at other clubs. And I think that's because a lot of other clubs are basing the fact of, right, we bring this one player in, it will solve this, and this.
Yeah.
Not we bring a player in and it solves that issue over there. It helps with this hit. You know, it's not. There's too much pressure on a £100 million deal that everyone seems to think will solve these crises, and it just doesn't work like that.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, there were some good performances from some of the Liverpool players, to be honest with you. You know, Gakpo, for me, is top draw. Slobosai, brilliant player.
Yeah.
Okay, McAllister, he didn't have a bad game, to be honest with you. Mo Salah, almost like he's dropped off the cliff a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where Liverpool go from here, but certainly I wouldn't play Isak. Definitely, they got better options, my opinion.
Yeah, completely agreed. However, can you imagine what controversy that caused? You know.
But why? I mean, if a player isn't performing, you don't play him.
No, exactly. Yeah, and again, I agree, but it's not for what is almost. I'm not sure if it is or isn't the most expensive transfer in the Premier League from team to team.
Well, one of them, isn't it?
It's got to be close to being the top, right? 125 million from Newcastle to Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm not going to go down the road as a waste of money because clubs have to decide for themselves, you know, how much they pay for a player if they think he's worth that much.
But let's put it into actual figures, right? So in between Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, Cherries, and Isak, Spent 300 million. I mean, if you think Newcastle was bought for 330 million not 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So when you start to compare those amounts of money, it's absolutely astronomical, mate. It's mental. It's mental figures.
Yeah.
And then you've got the likes of Man City being penalised, or Chelsea being penalised, or previously Forest and Everton being penalised for financial fair play rules. And I know Liverpool have done it all properly.
Yeah.
But think about all of those things that have gone into that.
Yeah.
That costs more than some clubs that are battling for top six in the Premier League, and yet those players still aren't performing. And you'd be like, that's mind blowing. That's mind blowing that you've had one season more than a Premier League club. You're not putting goals away, and you've lost 4 games in a row. It's just the pinnacle opposites, isn't it, of how to manage a club? It's mind blowing to me. Yeah, absolutely, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, I can't really have much more to that really, because it is crazy. We'll sit back and over the next few hours and just sort of mull over football like we do. We'll probably read something online or whatever, maybe get a better insight. Just move away from all the panic headlines that come out, crisis and all this rubbish. And try and find out, what's the root cause of it all. I mean, Arne Slot, obviously, he's got a job on his hands now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's going to have to find a way, to get out of this. I'll call it a rut. I wouldn't call it a crisis at all. It's, they're going to go on.
It's not quite a crisis yet.
No. I mean, that's just rubbish. I mean, that's normally what the gutter press put out anyway, isn't it? So, but yeah, they're going through a bit of a tough time. No reason why they can't come out of it again. Maybe he'll just say, look, this is going to be my starting 11. If it's going to hurt some players, so be it. And stick to the system that he wants to play to.
Yeah.
Because they're not a bad team to watch. Crikeys, they do have options from the bench, don't they? They've got a decent enough squad. Just because somebody's worth X amount of millions, it doesn't mean that he's going to get a starting place. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was really, really disappointed with Isak's performance. It is what it is.
Yep.
And we move on.
Do you want to run through these comments quick, Mo?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
So, Dan Short, what a weekend for Cherries men and ladies win.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm also surprised that the Wolves manager hasn't been sacked. Yeah, so am I, considering everything that's going on.
He's still quite new there, though, isn't he?
He is indeed, yeah. Sean says, do you guys think this will be the most mixed up table ever in the end? I mean, we come back to when the Leicester won the season, and that was a pretty mixed up table, to be honest. And it started very similar to how this season started.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so definitely watch this space. It's going to be an exciting league ahead. One question: what is considered the greatest level of football to play in any league in the world? Premier League.
Well, I think it is.
I mean, it's well known, right? It's in every football league or every football presence in the world, everyone knows that the Premier League is the place to play.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. If you go across into Europe, you look at Spain is obviously the next option, but then it's generally 2 or 3 teams, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
again, super interesting one. Did you see those Spanish games? What was it? Oviedo and Espanyol, and they had a strike on the pitch, so the whistle went. And no one moved for the first 15, 20 seconds.
Now, this all goes back to this game that they want to play in America.
That's right, in Miami, yeah.
In Miami. Now, I read up the report on that. I just absolutely disbelief that La Liga have allowed it to go on. without even any consultation.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I just think that is,
And again, it's
yeah,
purely money related.
yeah, yeah. And it would also seeing it from the other side of the coin. Was it one of the presidents or chairman or whatever, from one of the clubs, saying how fantastic it's going to be for, bringing in, more, yeah, more worldwide fans and everything. Obviously,
Exposure.
exposures. I think so. That a one-off game. How can that generate that sort of interest? Yeah, they'll probably fill the stadium because obviously the Americans will say, "Wow, let's go and watch these guys," which is great, and it'll be just a one-off. But they reckon that's going to be like the kickoff to, bring so much more to the Spanish league, Spanish game. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're only in it to get some money.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I just think it's sad, really. Nobody's speaking with the players. They're the ones that have to perform. And can you imagine that maybe the players will speak amongst themselves and say, "Do you know what? We don't want to do this again. Let's give them a rubbish game."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I guarantee you as well, aside from money, it's a poaching opportunity.
Mm.
Sending American players to Spain, taking Spanish players to America.
Yeah.
Trying to mix up the diversification in where football players are actually going to play football, just like Saudi have done.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. All it is buying leagues, buying matches. And I think America have always tried to do that, but not in the same way Saudi have in any way, shape or form.
No.
But I think now that they've seen the success in the Saudi league, the amount of viewings that has gone up is tenfold, hundredfold almost. Then there's obviously a route to our case to show that money can buy football, which is it's a real sad thing to discuss, to be honest. But it seems that that's the whole reason for that side of things, for sure.
They got their leagues over there in America, so try and entice maybe some older players away from Europe, which is okay, which they've been doing for years anyway, haven't they?
Yeah.
Players coming towards the end of their careers and everything, they've gone over there.
And that's fine. That works. That works. But I don't think it's good. I don't think it's a good thing for America or USA or the leagues over there to now be trying to push to better. It doesn't make sense. Sean says, does anyone know how long Ever is out for? Not entirely sure. I think it's 3 weeks, but don't quote me on that. We were top of that league for a period of time, the best in the world. Absolutely. Yes, we were. Mo missed a sitter. David said, yeah. Is Evan Nilsson injured and Brooks? Yeah, Brooks and Evan Nilsson are both injured. Brooks took a knock in the Welsh side against Belgium last week.
Yeah.
I think he's out for the same amount of time as Evan Nilsson, about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And Paul says USA money will bring more money to the whole of football. Will it, Paul? Because I feel like there's already a crazy ton of money involved in English football anyway. Is America really going to go and top the Isaac deal that we've just seen? Is that really a possibility?
I can't see it happening.
Neither can I. I can't see a random team in America, or even let's say the top football team in America, going, right, Premier League, Liverpool, here's 140 million for one of your players. I don't think anyone would go, no, you're all right. It just doesn't fit for me like that. It's not the same framework. But who knows in the future? Who knows?
I think they'll try, obviously, keep knocking on the door, seeing what they can get out. But the cutest thing really is, look how many businesses, American businesses, have come over and actually involved in running English clubs.
Exactly.
And that's enough. That is enough for them, and that'll give them more than enough exposure for what they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So they're like successful at business level. All right, that's one thing. But at a football level, it's something totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we've talked about this before with Bill. He's got his business, but he's got his other guys to do the other jobs around, and he lets them get on with it. He doesn't interfere with them. So in that way, it's a pretty cool setup. And obviously with this multi-club ownership or investments, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's his business. He can do what he wants.
Absolutely.
And as long as he's not breaking any rules, he's not the only one, is he? So hey ho.
Yeah, absolutely. Puppy Dog says, very good, watching, great game. Yes, up the Cherries. Puppy Dog, stay tuned tonight. Cherry Slaps is when we were discussing the Bournemouth Palace game for probably an hour plus tonight, I think.
In detail, yeah. We want as much input as possible, really.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible show tonight. So please do get involved tonight, 7 p.m, Cherry Slaps. That'd be amazing. Paul Sant says, American owners have already brought money to the Prem. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Paul.
Yeah.
And David DeCosta says, another great show, chaps. Yes, we
Thanks,
are.
David, for that. Yeah. I think we have to do a couple of mentions here, Ollie. If I'm right, Wednesday there's no Cherry AM.
That's correct.
All right. So for all those in the chat or listening wherever, Wednesday morning there's no Cherry AM. And coming out this week is going to be Cherry Pickings.
That's correct.
It's going to be part one of. I'm not going to say anymore. It's a 2-part episode, all right? So it's part one's coming out this week. So stay tuned for that. I think that's about all from this side for this morning.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for their comments. Have a great Monday. Good start to the week. Stay happy and healthy. Yeah,
exactly that. Yeah, and echo those words. Won't be here Wednesday. We will be back tonight for the Cherry Slaps. You'll see mine and Malcolm's face regularly this week, I believe, as we're doing a couple more shows than usual.
Exciting week, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think you've got us this morning, you've got us tonight, tomorrow morning, Thursday night as well, actually, and then Friday, who knows yet, but at that rate, you've got mine and Malcolm's face together about 7 times already this week. So,
yeah, looking forward to it. We'll catch you all later on Cherry Slaps.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Up the Cherries. Please join us later. Everyone who's watching now, hit the likes, hit the subscribe, hit the bell button, and we'll see you later on at 7 p.m. Thanks very much.
Okay, up the Cherries.
Up the Cherries.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.